to get their news.
Is that right?
Yes.
We have not done any news yet.
So I got a couple announcements.
Okay. I love it.
Cat Williams, he's back. He's better than ever.
Okay.
He's no longer going on stage with blinking sunglasses and a green wig or doing push-ups, but the incense stays.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Good news.
Let's see here. Pure Pleasure Lounge in Inglewood is going to reopen. They're going to do 3 straight nights with Buddy Guy and friends.
That's fantastic. I love Buddy Guy. I love the blues. I got the blues right now.
Damn right I got the blues.
Okay. Very good.
Greatest goddamn guitar player to ever walk this earth.
Ever.
Also, this is a weird one. The Wayans brothers are out.
I just did a movie with the Wayans brothers.
Really?
With
Sounds hilarious. What was it?
It's called Smartass. I don't know what they're gonna call it in the end, but it was a paranormal spoof. It was fun.
Are you a big horror movie guy?
No, but I've been in 1 or 2 now. Have you ever done a horror movie?
I did one that was so ridiculous. I dressed as a woman and I stabbed virgins.
You're kidding.
And so the high school kid, called Cherry Falls, the high school kid, Cherry, get it? Falls, because they bleed when they have sex. Ugh. The high school kids realize the killer is only killing virgins, so they get together and they organize orgies to lose their virginity so they'll no longer be on the wish list for the killer.
Wow.
Turns out it's Mr. Marlston, their teacher, me. Brittany Murphy is in this movie.
Please tell me shot in Canada.
No, Richmond. Beautiful, beautiful Richmond. Home of our buddy, 5 Decisions Away from Hoarders. Matt Paxton. He's just on Hoarders.
Oh, I've never
He's the guy that actually shovels the human shit.
Okay.
He's got a podcast called 5 Decisions Away.
Oh, okay.
He's a Richmond boy.
All right.
And when I stayed at the Thomas Jefferson Hotel for the month I was shooting that movie, the WWF was in town, and Ric Flair, the Nature Boy,
Nice.
when I came home, was in the lobby, high and drunk as fuck, literally under a chandelier. Woo! Limousine driving, airplane flying. Woo! Just alone.
Oh, boy.
And I was going to go up and go like, hey, Mr. Flair, and I go, he'll headbutt my face.
Yes.
Like he was really on to something.
What you didn't realize, he was reading the script to Cherry Falls.
I should have. And it's the guy that did Romper Stomper, which was incredible. So you go, well, this doesn't really seem like it's going to make much sense. But if the guy that did something so, I think Russell Crowe was in Romper Stomper.
It was like it was his breakout
and
thing.
it was like he created this landscape, and the director, and he created this world, this otherworldly world, like a post-apocalyptic punk nihilistic. I'm like, well, this guy obviously has vision.
Studio picture?
I believe, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And I remember there's one scene
so
where
there's money. You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and there's one scene where I had an axe, and I got to chop down the door to get into the orgy party.
Your Jack Nicholson moment.
Yes. And, you know what's really cool? The fire department in Henrico County, Virginia, and in Richmond, these guys were so badass. And it was in an old, like, farmhouse where this orgy party was.
Did you say farmhouse?
Gerald, come on, buddy. We're trying to do a podcast here, man. 250,000 people listening. You're going to freeze up on us. Right, Gerald? Gerald, do you even know how much 250,000 is?
Yeah, that's 250,000. Thereabouts. Give or take.
What if you round it up?
If I rounded up, I'd say 251,000.
You know, you're not as dumb as you look, Gerald. Maybe that's my role. I'm just the exasperated friend of yours.
Let me tell you something. I throw a lot of ass.
You what?
I throw a lot of ass.
You throw a lot of ass.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir?
You want to see some film?
Just me and you?
Sure, just me. Bunkmates, you kidding me?
The Henrico County fire guys, there's candles lit because it's an orgy. You got to make it romantic for the kids. These extras, some of them just said like, well, I'm not showing my boobs. It's like, that's why you were hired.
Right. You got $1,000 a day.
That's why we all agreed to be in this movie.
We're
There's
from
going to be
Hollywood.
20, everyone's going to have their shirts off. It's going to be, all right, at least there's that night at work. That was, better than people having their shirts on. But it wasn't. It was pretty gnarly. It was like backwoods Virginia boobies, like, not cool, under each armpit, laying on their backs. So Joan Osborne glaring at them during good nights. These guys in the fire department had lasers that they
What
would
if
point.
God was one of us? Yes.
He
Who's
is.
got lasers?
And his name is Russell Brand. Russell Brand, you have to come on this podcast. This is ridiculous. Rusty Rockets, Russell Brand. Let's break it down.
Come on.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Russell Brand, Jay Moores. It's legendary. Tracy Morgan get Russell Brand pregnant. I could have told you that was not going to work out because she dressed as Candy. These guys had lasers. They would shoot like a laser pointer, and they would shoot it across the room. And in that little circle on their end of the laser pointer, it told you what the temperature of the fucking wall was across the house. It was a heat reader. Wow. So a laser would, that's how high tech these, like firemen are other level, man. Like you think they just sit around and lift weights all day, but there's an incredible amount of technology that goes into it. So like anytime the wall would hit like 88 degrees, they like shut it down because the place, it's a fucking farmhouse. It'll just burn down.
Okay.
It's a fuck. I don't know what it's called. What is it? A tinderbox? A tinderbox?
A tinderbox.
It's a tinderbox, yes. Gerald?
Yes. It's shit, this thing will go up.
Yeah, and then down.
Right up and down, yeah.
So then why are we still here?
Guess what I do? Just watch it burn.
No, we can't watch it burn. There's people in it. We have to get them out. We're firemen now.
Right, let's get some hot dogs.
Look, I'm as hungry as you are.
S'mores after.
S'mores? That's the only time people say s'mores is in movies.
Well, we're in a movie.
And then we both look at the camera and just stare and don't do anything for like a second. And then we just go right back.
And Colin comes out of the bathroom.
Somebody comes. What are these guys saying? Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that whole Cherry Falls story.
Cherry Falls. I was just interested in it.
Oh yeah, I did a horror movie. And what were the ones you were in?
I was in Snakes on a Plane.
Is that really a horror movie?
Not really. I always thought that was like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it got blown up too much. The hype was too intense. People were like, I don't trust any of this. It's being a horror movie. The dog sees something outside in the dark now. By the way, folks, we're broadcasting from a
garage.
The not a garage, like the apron of a driveway, and the neighbors are glaring at us.
Work this out. No, you want me to put some cones down for you? Tell traffic to go around while you're still working?
And then the maid left.
And Chicago. Now, how much time would Dell have given you to flush out this
None
garage
of that.
run?
Well, you don't do any of that.
Because that was monkey danger.
You don't do any of that. Improvisation's all, person to person. You don't like work out a joke. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yes,
I was in Snakes on a Plane. I was in Final Destination 5, and then Piranha 3 Double D.
That was the good one.
Yeah.
It
actually was very good.
Not as good as the book.
No, the book was genius.
Piranha 3D, I thought I saw with Jerry O'Connell.
That was the first one. I was in the second one. There's actually still in theaters now.
So you can go see Piranha 3D and support our boy David.
You can
Bartholomew.
And it's video on demand, day and date. It's on video on demand now. You and I could walk into your living room right now.
Do you get a piece of that? Do you get a little back end?
Maybe a long time from now.
How long?
I have no idea. I didn't read it. I got paid to do the picture, and then I assume if there's...
What project did you do where you made the most amount of money?
I'm not going to tell you that. You can't.
Why? I ask everybody that.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you.
Why?
Because.
I'm not saying how much.
I know.
Just what project made the most money?
I'm not going to say it because then if an executive listens and goes, okay, that was too much for that, too much for this, or whatever. I've made tons on all of them. That's not true. I've never been paid enough. How about that?
Yes, that's right.
I've never been paid enough.
What a bizarre thing for you to tap out on.
Well, I just because I don't want anyone to have leverage.
All right.
I don't want.
Are you doing any guest stars on Leverage?
Is that a show? Is that Timothy
Hutton.
Okay, no, never been asked.
The guy was in Ordinary People, which beat Raging Bull for Best Picture.
Wow.
And now he's on USA with a fucking hat.
I'm wearing a hat.
How do people find you on Twitter, my friend?
At David Koechner, Koechner.
All right. Anything you want to tell us before you split?
I'm
so glad you came, man.
Me too. I love.
We had fun wrestling that day. We laughed a lot.
We did. Every once in a while, we'll have a tweet fight late at night.
Yeah, go ahead. You'll just tweet, God, for God's sakes, let me sleep. Like we're laying next to each other.
Yes. And here's the thing. You tried to get a hold of me for the longest time. You never followed me on Twitter so you can send me a direct message. Do you know that?
Yeah, I realize that.
When? Now?
Yeah,
will you follow Jay Mohr? Will you follow me on Twitter?
I'm following you
Are you
on
now?
Twitter. How do I know about your wife's show?
Oh,
because
thank
you
you.
retweeted it. Because I'm not following her, and I refuse to.
You should follow her.
She's been an incontrovertible ball breaker. What am I, a schmuck on wheels? Maury's wigs stay on.
Hey, quiet. The kids are trying to sleep.
All right, so what is the Gerald and his buddy? The trilogy is going to be
The Orderlies. That's our first one. It's a breakout.
But I think Orderlies is not Gerald. I think that's you and I. We'll create
I like
two
that.
guys.
I like that a lot.
But we got all right. So and we're not going to start in a trap, as you put it. That is such like writers' room talk.
Exactly. We're gonna
and we're not going to tip it, and don't make it too jokey.
Oh, it's gonna be really jokey. Or do you want to be? You want? Oh boy, I like this.
No, I was just saying writers' room words.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like when I remember sitting at SNL going, "How
Yes.
could something be too jokey? It's a fucking comedy show."
Right.
Don't you want it real jokey?
Pile it on.
Let's get it real jokey.
Right. Like you guys going to establish a relationship in the scene?
So Orderlies we do 1st, and on the smash success of
Yes.
McKay's going to direct Orderlies.
Love it.
He's already in. This is him on the phone right now. Adam, we got disconnected.
Siri, tell him I'll call him back.
I will. And then we're going to do the one where Gerald has the deed to the farm, but he needs a lawyer. Turns out you have a cousin. And I'm your cousin. Like, Gerald, what are you doing here? I'm in my fancy law place in Chicago in this hillbilly. You should walk in literally barefoot and go, I need your help.
Listen here. I walk in really nice shoes. Thing is, Gerald is smart as anybody in the room, but you
take your shoes off the second you sit down.
Oh, these dogs is barking. Ugh. Oh, you got a client? Get out, client. Turns out you and I remember when we was first cousins, we used to frolic through like we was hobos down by the river. Listen, you and I have inherited a large estate, but we have to claim it together. That's the premise of the movie, folks.
Gerald, why do you need me? How did I possibly get roped into a will in the same sentence as Gerald? I don't even know your last name.
Tibbins. Just like your last name, just like it says on the masthead.
My last name is Barnaby.
Well, it should have been Tibbins.
For the sake of my last name being Tibbins, what's in it for me if I go with you?
Half.
Half of?
All right, 3/4.
How about you give me 90% of this?
Whatever we find, let's just get on the road.
And we're looking for a farm.
Yes.
Where is it?
This picture.
What?
We don't know yet. It's not on any Google Maps or nothing like that. So we have to just get rid of all modern technology. This is like a period piece.
Gerald, I'm looking over this deed. It says that I died and willed you this farm. So I'm not I think maybe you got your wires crossed.
There's a complication, and you've just read it.
So how are we going to convince the people that own this deed that I'm dead? It's going to turn into a farce.
Exactly.
Let's hit the road.
Let's go.
And then montage
Yes.
of
us getting out of New York City.
Yeah, it takes forever. Like in Swingers when they're like, Vegas! And then it's us finally halfway through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
And you're asleep snoring.
Yes. Told you not to take that accent. That's a fake snore, by the way.
There's no exits, Gerald. It's Manhattan.
What's
I
that?
have to get in the Holland Tunnel to go to Jersey City.
What's
I
that?
can't drive across a river.
What's that?
I can't. Boop. Could you please not touch the radio? It's writing itself. It's writing itself. All right,
If
so
any
that's the road
executives are
picture.
listening, we'll take offers. Yes, go ahead.
And then the third one is bunkmates, where you're the guy at the counselor. You're the counselor. I'm the dad. I've been estranged from my child. I become a
You've lost
counselor.
visitation.
Yeah,
The only
because of
way
some I was drunk at a bar mitzvah.
Yes.
And I punched out a rabbi, and you cannot even see these children.
Right. So the only way.
Oh no! I got talking. I'm at my son's Christmas recital.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hold in my pee. I take a leak, but my junk's out at a school, so I'm a sex offender.
Yes.
But I'm not. That's the whole thing is you
Yes.
ride me about being a sex offender. Gerald, well, I'm not the one that shows himself to dingleberries to children.
Look at who it is, Mr. Peepers.
Gerald, I was peeing in the bushes 40 feet from a school.
Hey, I'm the only person on this property who's got porn. You want to go watch some?
No.
All right.
Sorry, I broke the first rule of improv.
You're missing out.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes,
you have to say no for a script. That's much different than an improv scene.
You have to know the rules to break them.
Yeah, you can as long as we are consistent with each other, then the scene keeps going. Now, if you'd changed it and said you'd said no and then yes, now this scene's deflated. But if you'd always insisted that Gerald's wrong, all you have to do for the rest of the scene is always insist Gerald's wrong.
Okay.
So that's
until I realized Gerald knows a lot more than he's been letting on. He's got a heart of gold, and he's the guy I think get me in touch
with your children,
with my children, because for some reason, like the Pied Piper, my children follow Gerald everywhere he goes.
Right.
You know why? Because he's kind inside.
He's charming.
And for all the things he does that annoys me, he's just kind.
He's got the heart of a child.
And yes,
this is our only
and
G-rated
like
movie,
the
by the way.
Bible, those who